Hey, thank you, Madam Chair, and Mr. Ranking Member, for having this hearing. And thank you to all the witnesses, and a big shout out to Ms. Reed. Ms. Reed, I'm the Senator from Louisiana, Bill Cassidy, and I'm so proud to have you here. I can imagine when your son looks at the YouTube video of yourself, of you, when he's 20 years old, of course, he'll already be proud of you, but he'll be even prouder, if that's possible, of a son for his mom. But thank you. Ms. Reed, I was aware of a child care in Jefferson Parish, and for those not familiar with Jefferson Parish is a suburb of New Orleans, which had spaces open, but which the parents didn't want to bring their child in because of fear over the pandemic. Now, did the city of New Orleans allow you to find a daycare center out of Orleans Parish? Because there was capacity, but it may have been too far out for you. I'm just asking. I'm totally just trying to understand.
Yes, they do. I wasn't aware of one in Jefferson Parish. So I am located in New Orleans East, and that's typically where I search for a care provider at, kind of in the perimeters of my job and home. So I wasn't aware of one in Jefferson Parish, but just looking at the ones from in New Orleans East and Gentilly area, those were the primary areas that I focused on.
Now, thank you for that. And then, of course, it would have really put you out of sorts if, unable to get child care if the daycare center had been completely closed. Not just not affordable and not just not even spots open, but completely closed. Is that a fair statement?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. One of my concerns about some of the proposals before us is that ultimately they would move these child care centers into public schools. What we've seen is because of incredible influence by teachers unions, public schools were closed for in-person instruction, even though the Centers for Disease Control said that it was safe to go back into in-person instruction. What an impact that would have upon a working mom, as it did. A lot of working moms couldn't work because teacher unions were effectively forcing the shutdown of public school systems. That's very concerning. Ms. Perry, it's my understanding that state regulations have an incredible impact upon increasing the cost of daycare without any sort of discernible improvement in outcomes. Staffing ratios, for example, if overly restrictive, can lead to much higher cost, and again, without discernible increase in outcome. Again, some of the proposals before us would have the federal government heavily involved in regulating what happens on the state level. I don't ever see a place where the government's involvement, federal government's involvement, actually decreases cost. Would you have concerns about North Carolina having their staffing ratio dictated by somebody in Washington, D.C.?
Thank you for that question, Senator. I would say this, that regulations do need to focus on what matters most for children, and that is the quality of the people doing the care for the children every day, their capacity to deal with the challenges of managing a classroom of 1-year-olds who tend to bite each other and keeping them safe, managing through how you talk to 12 or 15 3-year-olds and get them ready for reading success. You can't skip steps, and learning is sequential, so there's a lot of things that have to be happening in those early years. So I would say regulations are important to keep kids healthy and safe, and they need to be focused on the things that matter most. I think there's always opportunities to revisit regulations and think about, are they really focusing on the things that matter most? But I think they're important, and I think they keep children healthy, safe, and learning, which is what we want all children to be doing.